Hello, my name is Estrella Vargas and I'm a proud employee here at CAN TV. Today I have the honor of interviewing Melanie from the Interfaith Community for Detained Immigrants. Hi Melanie, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and about the ICDI?
Sure. I'm the executive director at ICDI, and ICDI is an organization that was founded in 2007 by two Sisters of Mercy, and since then has grown to over 300 volunteers and about 10 staff people. And we serve the detained immigrant population. We go into immigrant detention centers and provide spiritual care for folks who are there in 4 county jails. We have a court watch program where we attend immigration court and serve as a public witness to what is happening there. We enter children's centers and provide spiritual care for unaccompanied minors. We have a hotline so we can assist people who are released from detention and just need short-term care and help getting home. And we have a house of hospitality as well, where we can serve asylum seekers or people who recently got asylum who don't have friends or family in the United States and they need a place to live. And we also have a deportation ministry where we pray with the people who are being deported and assist their families in saying goodbye.
Okay. So why is your nonprofit important for Chicago specifically?
Well, Chicago is a big hub for immigration issues because there's an ICE field office here, and there are courts that have, there are immigrant detention centers, jails that have contracts with ICE in the Chicago metro area and in Wisconsin, and there's an immigration court here in Chicago as well. So there is a lot of immigration activity. And because we initially got involved with the jail visitation, from there was how we learned about other issues that were going on and developed ways that we could also interact with the system. And we think about our work in terms of much of it is harm reduction work because we're entering systems that are broken, and we are just trying to provide care and help people be resilient in what is a very dehumanizing system. And then our House of Hospitality is really a model program for what we think care should look like when someone comes to our country asking to be able to stay here, that we can provide wraparound care. It's community-based, it's faith-based, and we have case management and really take care of folks. And one of the things I like to say is nobody leaves immigrant detention better than when they got there. Everyone is worse for having been through it. And everybody leaves our house in a better place than when they came to us.
That's amazing. So with the headlines highlighting a lot of immigration issues, talking about the Caravan and the detained centers, how is that affecting your organization now? Because the rhetoric is not always benefiting the people that are migrating.
Yeah, I mean, I think these are really difficult times and troubling times. The license to use hateful language, which leads to hateful behavior, I've never seen something like this in my lifetime, and so it's very concerning. At the same time, there has been a huge response to the work that we do, and we've had more people showing up and contacting us about volunteering or making donations. Wanting to get involved in the work because they don't agree with the tone that's being set about immigrants. We can think of the Migrant Caravan really not as invaders, as has been said, but as an exodus of people who are leaving conditions in home country, which in many instances the United States has been part of creating problems and discord in those countries, and this is the chicken coming home to roost.
Yes. So I know that the Caravan and the detained, a lot of the headlines are specifically targeting at the border, but Chicago is up north, far away from the border between Mexico and the U.S. So how are you supporting that specific cause, and how are you supporting it?
Yeah, so we are in contact with organizations that work at the border, and sometimes we get referrals to our housing program from them. I will, in about a week and a half, be attending the Encuentro that's in Nogales. We'll be on both sides of the border there. This is a gathering about the School of the Americas and about the border and the border wall. So we'll all be coming together as advocates and activists around the issues of immigration. And just because we're in Chicago, not everybody that's in detention here is from the Chicago area. So people are moved around kind of like pawns on a chessboard in terms of where they're detained initially and then where they end up. ICE sends them where there's space and sometimes moves them with no explanation or illogically, separating adults of a same family, for example. And so the fact that we're in Chicago, we many times meet people in detention who were detained at the border and then they were brought here by ICE.
Okay. And Chicago being like a sanctuary city, like how has that helped your organization, or has it not been helpful in any way?
Yeah, I think it's really helpful and it's really important, and it's great to be in a place where we know that the city supports immigrants and that sets that tone that is counter to the national narrative that's being set right now. We have folks who may need sanctuary at some point, and so knowing that the community will be responsive to that is really important.
Yeah, because I've been have a lot of friends who are activists in Pilsen, and they have been reporting on like ICE raids even after Chicago is like a sanctuary city, and like Bates and all that. Like, how does that make you feel, or just like how does that affect your organization? Like, even like after being called like a sanctuary city, we're still seeing like massive raids and like communities and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's it's something that doesn't happen immediately, and we just have to keep fighting for it, because the sheriff at McHenry County Jail, for example, does not want to abide by the Trust Act, and he's kind of circumventing that, and currently there's a case pending about that. So we think that someone who is in a position to uphold the law, it's kind of ironic that he doesn't want to follow the law himself, and that's wrong. So we want to hold him to that and just keep uplifting the idea that Chicago is sanctuary, Chicago is safe, and also really expand the notion of sanctuary. We talk about sanctuary a lot in terms of immigrants, but there's some work being done to expand that notion. Really what we need is sanctuary for all. We need sanctuary. We need our cities and the places we live to be safe spaces for everybody, to be inclusive. This could be LGBTQ, trans folks, women, people of color, all of it. It needs to be sanctuary for everyone.
Exactly. So here at CanTV, we strive to give people in the community doing the work the opportunity to speak about what is going on and not have other people, outsiders, like shine in and like speak for the community. So since you are firsthand working with like the community and like this specific issue, take this platform and like what would you want to say about or like what are you not seeing in the media that you wish people could listen like hear?
Yeah, I think that what I would love is to extend a hand to anybody that is feeling unsure about what's going on and they're hearing a lot of the narrative that we should not welcome immigrants, to get directly involved. I think that when you're in relationship with the people that are being talked about, you get a much better understanding of what it is, and it's a great way to break down barriers and understand that there's no need to be fearful about who's coming to our country, and supporting them and being involved with them is a great way to understand that. There was a film a couple years ago about a gentleman who wanted to be part of the Minutemen at the border, and he agreed to live with an undocumented family for a month. And it changed his whole view. It changed his whole life because he had to see that they celebrate birthdays like we do, and they go grocery shopping like we do, and that they were much more like him than not like him. And so I think we need to combat that separation of different groups of people and the othering that occurs, and understand that we're really all connected. We're really all part of humanity. And we're much more similar, and that our differences are things to celebrate, not things to fear.
That's beautiful. I hope that maybe in the future you can bring on, families onto the show and like have them highlight their stories and like remove the othering, like you said, so people can see how human they are and how they struggle as much as we do, and they deserve, the education, healthcare, etc.
Yeah, well, we are really excited about the platform of CAN TV and the opportunity that it gives to us, and so we will definitely brainstorm what might work for us, and we're really excited about it.
I'm excited to see. So if anyone wants to contact the Interfaith Community for Detained Immigrants, you can do so by contacting them at their website, which is shown in front of you. And also their email at hello@icdichicago.org. Is there anything else you would like to tell the viewers, or any last remarks?
Yeah, I just invite you to get involved with ICDI. Check out our website. We have many opportunities to volunteer and get to know people who are from other places, who just need a little help learning what it is to live in the United States. So please contact us. We don't have a phone number because we get overwhelmed by calls frequently, but we have the hello@icdichicago.org is the best email to use, and we can send you more information about how to get involved with ICDI.
Well, thank you so much, Melanie. It was nice to have you here, and we look forward to all the shows that you do here at CAN TV.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.